Hey guys, so I want to make another quick video. The ice maker in my freezer is not working, so show you how to take it out and fix it. So first of all, get the ice tray out. There's contacts in here in a timer motor, and what happens is those contacts get some junk on them and they lose contact mid through a cycle or something. This one, it dumped the ice, but then it got stuck here. So first of all, we need to do is hop under here. Magnetic nut driver, 1/4 inch is the best. And you're going to take this and you're going to remove this screw all the way, being magnetic. Hopefully I don't lose it. Let's see. It's kind of hard to do. Let's see here. It's really hard to do and see what I'm doing and film. Oh, and I dropped it. So get your screw, set it aside so we're safe. And then what we're gonna do up here, first of all, let's go ahead and unplug this. So you're gonna take this plug here and you're gonna pull it out. There are 2 releases, one on top, one on. So you're actually gonna spread them. I don't know what I was thinking. I've done this one several times. So you're gonna spread the tab up just a little bit. Let's zoom in here. You need to take and you can see the clip under there. Thread that down with your fingernail and pull it out just a little bit. You don't want to break it off, but just kind of grab it with your fingernail, pop it like that. There you go. So wires out. Now don't worry about the screw here in the back. Okay, that stays there. The only 2 you have to worry about are these 2. That one there and this one over here. And you don't have to take them all the way out. So what we're gonna do, because these are very hard to get back in if you take them out, what we're gonna do is see here, and I'm going to, oh, I can fall in this freezer. Take and loosen them, but don't take them all the way out. Okay. Now loosen them up. Now what we're going to be able to do is lift this ice maker up off those screws. You can see in here. And well, it's not working very well. Work it off. Oh, finally. It's a bit of a pain to leave them there and lift them off. As you can see, they have these little gaps. So you need to loosen them the correct amount and it'll slip down on it, which is a bit of a pain, as you can see. But trying to get the screw back in here, way back in there, is even worse. All right, we'll continue in a minute. All right, guys, we got the ice maker out. This one, as you can see, is sort of stuck in a mid, it's half cycle, and it pushed the ice up, but then this is supposed to flip down and the fingers that are in there are supposed to come up where these are. So it's supposed to rotate some more, but there are some circular contacts in here and they'll get dirty. Now, you might say I should just buy a new one. Well, this fridge is only a couple years old and I had to do with the old one also. I've done it. This will be probably the third time for this one. So anyway, first step, and this is a KitchenAid refrigerator. There's the ice maker I have right here. All right, so first thing you're gonna do once you get this out, this cover comes off like this, just pulls off, okay? Now you're gonna see all this in here. First of all, we need to take these Phillips screws out. So let's do that. I've done this one twice before. Of course, it's been a little while, so I'm trying to remember exactly how this comes apart, but I think this pretty much pulls off. Yep. Okay, so that's just going to slide out. You can see the plastic pieces here. This goes back in on the edge of that piece here. So we'll get into it when we get it back together. But yeah, I just pretty much pulled out. This is the power coming in for the different, this is the heating element. We got power coming in right here on this strip. These are the prongs for the heating element. And this is where everything turns like that. Let's see, this is where it's supposed to be, right here. Anyway, let's get into this. So you can see all the strips in here. Now, I think the last time mine may have had a burnt spot. I can't remember. Anyway, these little clips here, 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 these all create contact on these pins when you put it together. All right. But anyway, what we need to do is we need to get to the strip where all these come together. This timer motor runs and it turns gear reduction, which turns this. Under this are our sliding contacts that activate the features once this timer motor is activated. So what we need to do is we're going to come in here. I believe this is what I used last time. And of course you don't want to break it. If you break it, you have to buy a new one. Of course you could buy a new one anyway. We have to pinch this together like this. Okay, that has to get pinched together. And this face wheel has to come off. So we're going to take a note of where this is right now. You can see the orientation because obviously this timer motor, we're not going to run it. So this wheel has to go back in the same orientation on the teeth. So you can see where it was before. We're going to make a note, that I'll say right here was between the A and the L on manual. Okay guys, so I've reset up here. So what you're going to do, you got to squeeze these tabs and push them kind of at the same time. It's not the easiest thing to do. So I'm going to put a little bit of pressure on this. I'm going to support it with my hand and pull on this at the same time slightly. You're going to compress these, and sort of just push the pliers in as you do it. Once they get them started, then you can work it off. Like that. It's not as easy as just that. It's a little tight. It's pretty snug. Anyway, I've got it separated now. And we'll also need to make a mental note which direction this was. Okay, because this one was pointed over here. And we need to make sure we put it back in the same way we took it apart, okay? It's very important because it's stuck mid-cycle. So you have to put it back the way it was. All right, so, all right, that's gonna stay there. That's gonna stay there. Now we have that out. We're gonna gently lift this off, okay? Just go slow, it's fairly tight. Now these are all our contacts we were talking about. As you can see, apologize, I wasn't in frame. As you can see, these little there's little feet here, here, here. And as this timer motor, as it rotates, those contacts slide and they disconnect from one and they connect to the other. So it does the other features. Now this one still looks pretty clean. You can see right here, it's a little dirty. I don't know if you can tell that. See that little black area, dirty area right there? This right here, this is probably where it stops cycle. You get a little dirt on it and then it loses connection and it just gets stuck there. This one actually looks very clean compared to what it has before. We got a little bit right there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a little Scotch-Brite pad, paper towel and whatnot, and we're gonna clean this up. So, and we also wanna gently clean these off. Now you don't wanna bend these. You just wanna clean the contacts a little bit. I'll use some Scotch-Brite pad. Which I have right here. And we're not gonna do a lot. It's gonna be a very gentle, precise operation, or you're gonna mess it up. You'll have to buy a new one anyway. Like I said, this is the third time I've actually took this one apart and cleaned it. So we wanna clean the copper. Don't push hard. Just let the Scotch-Brite pad do its thing. Brighten this up. That's all we want. Like I said, this one actually looks pretty clean compared to what it has before. I think it was just getting stuck on one spot. Get a little paper towel and wipe it down. I think it was getting stuck right here. Saw a little bit of arcing. A little black from the arcing. I'm just gonna clean these up, make sure they're all clean. And those tabs are bent for a reason. Don't mess with that. Just make sure they're clean. Actually, you can see it's nice and pretty right here now. That's all nice and pretty. What was happening was getting stuck between this cycle and this one, I believe. But you know, it's hard to say for sure. But it's definitely getting stuck somewhere in there. Actually, no, I think this was the one I was thinking it was getting stuck on. Right here. Looks pretty clean. Let's go ahead and gently, in the direction these go, gently hit these. Like I said, don't be careful not to bend them, you'll screw them up. Clean the tips off. You'll definitely want to do this too. And then we're going to dry them. Make sure they're clean. Don't bend them. All right. So I think we're good there. So now we're going to take our cleaned wheel, which we will need to align. Because now we can literally put it anywhere in here. And it's not too big of a deal that it goes back exactly where it was. As long as these parts get assembled in the correct order, I think is actually more of it. It's important that these parts the position of these two parts get positioned the same. So just put it back as close as you can to where it was. Like I said, we were between the A and the L over here. As far as this position, is once I push it in, it'll now get locked in the teeth. Okay? So let's get it. And don't turn this backwards either. Get this on and turn it. You just need to slide it straight in. Okay, we are in. Now it's also possible you may need to put a little more pressure on these. I have before. I'm pushing this in. I'm not feeling a lot of pressure. You don't want a lot of pressure. Just make sure that one of these, when you look at them underneath here, make sure one of them doesn't look bent or anything, especially if in case you've bent them. But I think we're good. Anyway, put it back together. And one more over, and it was right there. I think that's where we were. That, flip it over. And as I said before, let's get this back the same way. It can go on this way, or it could go this way. So just make sure you put it back where it was, which was this little hook was pointed towards the timer motor. So let's get it started gently. It's a tight fit. We're going to spread this back. Spread this back and let it get in there. Like that. Click it back in place. We're all the way back in. And if you want, you can take this side and just gently work it. Make sure it's fully spread. Okay. Now, oh, I forgot one thing. So we can do that now, but this little pin, it needs to be in the slot. So when I pulled this out, I misaligned this and pulled it out, but it's not the end of the world. We can do it. We just need to spread it from this side. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think I did this last time before I realized. Get excited putting it back together. So you can gently spread these tabs and you can pull it out, right? And then we'll get it started and we'll get it back in there. See, now it's in its slot where it needs to be, okay? That's how it needs to be. That's how it was when we took it apart. Okay guys, so if you're to this point, you have successfully cleaned it and put it back together. The other thing I want to mention is you're going to want to look at all these contacts where these come together and these pins and make sure they're not burnt. Last time, one of these, I believe, was burnt for me. And I had to clean them and add a little bit more tension to the clip. You want to make sure the clip has enough tension. Once again, you got to be careful what you're doing. You don't want to be bending and breaking anything. Okay. Okay guys, so we're now to this point. We need to get this guy back in. We've checked everything to make sure our connections are good. Don't mess with anything other than what we need to do. So it probably won't work anymore. Okay, so this wire is going to go back inside here, okay? That wire right here is going to go back inside here. And we need to make sure we try to slide it on in the same position. Okay, so let's start the wire first. Start the wire in it first, okay? And as you can see, it's already have it in there. You can see, I guess for reference, it looks like the wire lines up with the slot. In the end of that, you can see it turning. Okay, I've got it in. And we're gonna gently kind of align this whole thing. Okay. Get everything aligned as we go. You don't want to force anything. Everything slides into its place. The other thing we need to do is we need to bring this back where it was here, okay? Remember the tabs were down in there and this was straight. So that's the other thing we'll need to do, because it connects here. You can see this, it has a flat side on this and there's a flat side on this. So start the wire here first on the upper left or right, upper right. Start the wire first in its position, okay? And then we're gonna kind of get it in there, and we have that in, so it's now gonna slide in. Make sure you slide everything in squarely. All those pins have to go in place. Everything in at the same time, nice and gently. We're all the way in, okay? That wire is going to slide all the way in like that. Everything looks good. We're going to take our screws and obviously put them back in their holes. This one, they're all the same length. We use a Phillips again. Snug those up. Okay. So obviously this is in the wrong position still, but what we did is clean the contacts. When we plug this back into the fridge, it will do its thing since it now has connection. And the bulky side on this is going to go up. Slide it straight on. That. And that's the ice off position. Everything's back where it was. Let's plug this in and get it to work. Okay guys, we're back at the freezer. Your ice tray back, and I don't know how well you're going to be able to see as I do this. I'll do my best to show you. Slide it in here. First thing we need to do in the back is line up the filter tube and get it in there, okay? And then the back bolt needs to be lined up first, and then we'll get it on the front. So the black fill tube here, get it up in there first, and then work it towards the back bolt, okay? So let's see if we can do this. Let me get in a position to where I can actually do it and film, because this is really hard. Okay. Fill tube. We're going to slide it on the back bolt. We're just going to kind of clip in. Once we get the back in, let's get the front in. It's going to take a little bit of persuasion on mine, but as you can see, it's now sitting on both. Okay, nice and straight. Now, what we're going to do is let's go ahead and bring these screws in some. I don't want to tighten them all the way up yet. Go ahead and bring them on in, just to where they stop, back them up a little bit so we can still wiggle this, because that bottom screw may need a little bit of slack. So essentially tighten them and then back them off with a quarter turn. So it's in place, but it still wiggles because we have to get our bottom bolt in. Okay, we got our bottom screw, second bolt screw. Oh, this is going to be really hard to film, guys. I'm sorry. Alright, we got it on our magnetic screwdriver right here. Push our... pull everything back. Okay, so now it's just a matter of getting it in here without losing it. And I'm trying to film at the same time, which is almost impossible. Oh, right there. Did I make it? I think I'm in the hole. Yeah, this is really hard. watching myself do this in my phone camera, and it's like impossible. Alright, don't cross thread it, just find the hole and work on it until it starts threading in gently. It shouldn't be really hard to thread in. If it starts getting hard to thread in, then back it out and start over. Alright, the bottom is tight. Let's go ahead and tighten the top ones. Snug. And snug. It may have did what I did last time, and that is forget to get this wire. This wire needs to go back behind, guys. I apologize. In my haste to record this, I forgot. Again, this wire needs to go back underneath. So it's a little hard to do now, but it's doable. We just need to get it back around the back side. Okay. Bring the plug up top and let's line it back up. The wires are going to be formed, so it'll be pretty apparent which way it goes in. Okay. Let's get it back in there. Make sure it's in all the way. Give it a little wiggle. Okay. So we're definitely in. Flip the ice dealy down. I can already hear the timer motor running. Let's do its thing. Let's check back in a minute. Figured I'd catch this real quick. You just heard it fill. So that was like 1 minute later. It just filled. And let's give it a second. Let's see if it hops back down where it's supposed to be. I just heard it pop. Check it out. It is reset, guys. Ready to freeze again. All right, if you've got to this spot and this video helped you, please like, comment, subscribe. It would really help. Thank you so much. All right, guys, I think I heard ice drop. Ooh, check it out. We have ice. Everything perfect.